sou Antônio Macedo, sou arquiteto, professor e consultor na construção sustentável. Eu tenho aqui a satisfação de ter em minha companhia hoje aqui o Sr. Rick Fedrizzi, que é fundador do USGBC, que é um dos responsáveis pela criação do LEED e é hoje em dia CEO e Chairman do IWBI, Instituto responsável pela certificação WELL. O Rick Fedrizzi está aqui na Green Building Brasil essa semana e nós temos a satisfação de poder entrevistá-lo. Thanks for coming, Rick. It's a pleasure for us to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Actually, it's an honor for us to have you here. It's a pleasure to have the possibility of talking about sustainability, to talk about green building.
Sure.
And actually, first question we would like to make is about sustainability as an asset. You say in your book that it is mostly related to businesses than actually to the environment. How does it work? How so?
Sure. I mean, when we think back to the way that we all used to talk about sustainability, it was in the context of adding costs. So if you wanted to mitigate the air, it was going to cost money to do it. If you wanted to clean up the water, it was going to cost money to do it. And so the idea with any kind of environmental work was that people thought this just adds layers and layers of cost to everything that we do. So it was only until the LEED rating system was developed and then other rating systems around the world were developed that people could start to understand the integration of systems. And when you put all of these systems together in the right way, you are able to take advantage of the costs that are reduced time after time after time. If I produce a beautiful window like this with a lot of daylight, I have to have a different set of lighting overhead than I would have had in the past. All of the external light, the overhead light, the overhead light that created a lot of heat, and then I had to have a bigger air conditioner to cool the space. Now with our sustainability systems in place and with tools like LEED that can really help us understand that for the first time, we understand that integration and we understand how to put those systems together and bring the costs down. What we're seeing 25 years after USGBC started, 10, 15, 20 years after many other GBCs started, is we're starting to see a proliferation of buildings. Number one, that don't cost more to build than conventional construction. You can build LEED silver and sometimes LEED gold and platinum for not a penny more than conventional construction. And the benefits are immense. Operating costs are much lower on energy, water, waste, and so forth. But there's a human side, the human cost of people that are healthier in those spaces, who have the ability to give back to their jobs more and help a business become more productive. The other thing that's important is that buildings that are green, sustainable buildings that value people's health are buildings that they lease out faster than they would normally. They retain their tenants. They attract new employees because of the kind of building it is. So the ability for anybody to say that it costs more to build green today, it's not true.
Not true at all.
Not true at all.
Not true at all. I know that. That's great. So when you see what is being done by Mr. President Trump in the U.S. with the...
I don't know who that is.
with this Paris Agreement withdrawal. Does it change the future of green building?
It changes it only in one way. People become stronger. People become more focused. No one person or one political agenda is going to change the mood of the world. We have finally, after so many years, come together with our important work from every nation, every part of the globe.
Yes. And
we had a vision. And you know, we have always had setbacks. This, for the U.S., is one more setback. But what I love is when we have this happen, other parts of the world get more energized. For China, for example, saying we'll do more.
Yes.
And so again,
this is
exactly. This is a temporary situation
Yes.
that will not last forever, and we will, in fact, go back to Paris, go back to the tables, and be a part of this locked arm in arm with the rest of our citizens of the world, and we will do great things together. This is not something we're worried about for the long term.
That's very good to hear. I'm glad to know. So, how do you see the future of green building?
Well, I definitely see the future of green building as one that embraces very closely the area of human health and wellness.
Yes.
And you all know that I have, after the last 15 years of running U.S. Green Building Council, have left the organization and have now started working on a new organization's agenda relative to human health and wellness. It's a rating system called WELL. It's a part of a system that is very closely linked with all of the great work that's been done with LEED and USGBC over the years. WELL is connected to BREEAM, it is connected to Green Star, it is connected to any other system on the planet that respects humanity and respects human health. And what we're trying to do, I actually thought it makes a lot of sense to start thinking about this. I've actually had people say, Rick, have you left, sustainability, is that no longer important? And I said that the only way that you can truly advance the agenda of human health and wellness is I call it the second wave of sustainability. So you have the first wave, which was sustainability. It's what LEED and other systems did to create a strong foundation for the future, for our cities, for our communities, for our buildings. The second wave is where we start to focus on humanity and look at health and wellness related to light and air and water and comfort and mind and fitness and nutrition and things that are a deep dive into how do the places we live, work, play, learn and heal in, how do all of our building types treat us with a lot more respect. Some are we have all been in buildings where it's a beautiful building, but the thermal comfort is horrific and we're very hot and we can't function. Or the air quality is stagnant and not comfortable. And so we have to adjust that or open windows. The building should be able to someday look at our Fitbit on our wrist, understand that, Rick didn't sleep well last night. Rick is kind of having a hard time with his work today.
Took a long flight.
Why? I take many long flights, but why not just drop the thermal comfort temperature in the room 1 degree? Why not open some fresh air ventilation into the room, get some fresh air in there? Why not ramp the lighting spectrum up just enough to get Rick's brain engaged in the retina in your eye connecting to your brain in a different way? Why not make sure that the acoustics are such that I'm not trying to fight a lot of different noises so that I can do my work? And ultimately, the building starts to take care of you. I get a little bit fatigued. I walk outside and there's a big basket of organic fruit that I can have instead of going to get my third coffee of the day and a jelly donut, which probably would taste a lot better, but the fruit is right there and I don't have to think about it. And it satisfies me and it's better for me and it's a great thing. So I think that it's a learning curve. We're at the very beginning of this, but I have huge respect for the people that brought this forward, and I think that we're going to do something really great, but in collaboration with all of our friends and partners around the world who have already built a platform of let's say, LEED, who have already become accredited professionals, and now we're saying let's add this on top of that and create a new way forward together.
I am looking forward to it.
I hope so.
Yeah. Actually, well, it's already changing my life a little bit.
That's great.
Yeah, because actually I'm trying to take care of myself better.
Yeah.
And for my wife, my family too.
Sure.
My kids, and also trying to teach and to help other people learn more about it, because it makes all sense to me.
Well, we're at a point in our lives where that's important, but you think back generations, and people, when they needed to have that piece of fruit, either walked out into a field or went many miles to a store to find it. Today, many people think I can just lay on the sofa and call Amazon and they will have a drone deliver it to my couch. And that is an unhealthy world for a long time. You can't go there.
So, as a consultant, we deal with clients, potential clients, that always think that all those certifications add more costs than benefits. I know, of course, that is not true, but many of our investors and decision makers still think that way. I mean, in our developing countries world, we have to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So how can we convince them? How can make clear to them that there are good opportunities, that there is the way to go, and what can we as a professional community can do to make it happen?
Sure,
please.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna speak now. I think there's a lot of information out there on sustainability and about LEED, but I'm going to talk about health and wellness as a market transformation tool. And when you look at the opportunity that's afforded to us by having information that will in fact give building owners, managers, developers, brokers the ability to discern how one building will be better for a group of people than another, there's value in that decision. The ability for you to say, if I put my people in this building, there will be fewer absenteeism, and I understand absenteeism here in Brazil is very high.
Of course.
So fewer absenteeism, fewer sick days, more engaged and energized employees.
Which means productivity.
Which means huge amounts of productivity, which always comes back to the bottom line of the organization. But people that if you're trying to attract the best talent in the marketplace, people walk into your space and they see this healthy, beautiful space. They want to be a part of that. They don't want to be a part of an organization anymore that doesn't value them. And there's a brand new third wave of a generation of millennials that are going to look at the world differently. It's not just about a job. It's about a lifestyle. It's about understanding that the place that I'm going to work for, that they value me. They care about my health and well-being. They care about me as a person. And ultimately, when developers start seeing that those buildings are leasing out faster at a higher lease rate, when the net cost of the building upon sale is 7 to 10% more, those things are going to matter deeply in that conversation. Right now, just like LEED, in the early days, a lot of people want it. They want to be the first. That's important. Then they want it because it's different. But ultimately, they will want it forever when they know it's good for everybody. It makes money for their business side, which is okay. It makes money, but ultimately provides tremendous opportunities for the employees or the people that live there from now on.
So that brings us to the last question. What message bring for us? Think about Latin America. What message could bring to us as a professional community to stimulate, to inspire our businesses, our activities?
I think the only thing I can say, because I've seen the progress that you've made in 10 years, and I will say, some of the progress that you've made in Latin America in 5 or 10 years took USGBC 10 or 15 years to get to the same place. So a lot of that happens because we're transferring information and intellectual property. We're transferring that in real time to assist our friends and make it easier. But the innovation, the ideas that you have, the trade show that is downstairs from this conference, that shows these new ideas and technologies that are just coming up, and these are things that I haven't seen at Green Building. So I think that you're definitely on the right track. The thing is, you have to engage with your local community from the standpoint of the political figures that make decisions. You have to tell them that the community of people that are underserved is a big part of the world we work in and we care about. And even though it's a very hot political football sometimes, you can't have a sustainable world without taking care of every single human being. And I think that we just stay connected through our organizations. And lastly, I would say education. So anyone that can become a well AP, most of you will probably already be lead APs. if not become lead and well APs, but it's...
First you have to become a lead GA, then a lead AP, and then a well AP.
But it's that education opens so many doors and gives people opportunities that nothing else does. So it was an honor talking with you today. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And hope to see you all again soon.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Rick.
Obrigado.
You're very welcome. Obrigado.